Okay, picture this. Late September, sun shining in Santa Barbara. It's a perfect California Saturday.
Hmm.
And the scene is pure Hollywood, just dazzling. A super curated A-list wedding, Selena Gomez marrying Benny Blanco.
Right. The photos looked incredible. Nobu catering, apparently.
Yeah, that's the word. Just pure joy radiating from those pictures that, went everywhere online.
But with an event that public, sometimes it's not just about who is there.
Exactly. It's about who isn't, and the absence that makes the most noise.
Francia Raisa, the woman who gave Selena what she called the ultimate gift and sacrifice years ago, her kidney.
It makes you think, doesn't it? When you literally save someone's life, is that bond unbreakable?
Or does that very sacrifice, the sheer weight of it, eventually make the relationship, well, impossible?
That tension, that really complex psychological stuff happening under this, intense global spotlight, that's what we're diving into today.
Yep. Welcome to the deep dive.
This is where we cut through the noise and pull out the stories, the real human drama behind the headlines, the psychology of fame.
And today, our mission is to really unpack what happened around the Gomez-Blanco wedding.
We need to look at the history between Gomez and Raisa, which is intense.
And crucially, understand Francia Raisa's response, her public statement after being so noticeably absent. So let's start with the wedding itself.
Okay, so the big headline here, I think, is that this wedding wasn't just, a personal milestone.
Now, it felt like more.
It felt like a cultural moment where Selena very publicly, very powerfully chose to highlight a different kind of friendship story, an easier one maybe.
Let's paint the picture. September 27th, 2025. Santa Barbara's Seacrest Nursery. About 170 guests, all A-listers.
Yeah, they wanted intimacy, but still, extravagance.
Totally. And the vibe was apparently very bohemian chic. Rugs everywhere, people encouraged to go barefoot.
Including the bride and groom.
Yeah.
Custom Ralph Lauren for both Selena, who's 33, and Benny, 37.
And reports said the ceremony was super emotional. Selena was apparently sobbing and crying so hard.
Oh.
And her vows were supposedly much longer, much more detailed than his. You can just feel the emotion, right? Absolutely. But here's where the narrative focus kind of shifts or gets directed.
Taylor Swift.
Exactly. The most visible person there, besides the couple, was Taylor Swift. Friends for, what, almost 20 years?
Yeah, nearly 2 decades. And she wasn't just a guest. It felt like she was positioned as the best friend, the unwavering one.
There were videos, right, of her hyping Selena up beforehand, like, look at her, oh my God.
And she apparently gave a really tearful, heartfelt speech at the reception. Classic supportive best friend moments.
Then came the Instagram post, Selena's first big post-wedding statement.
And it wasn't just about Benny or the wedding day itself.
No, it was framed in honor of Showgirl, referencing Taylor's album, The Life of a Showgirl.
Which is a choice.
A very deliberate choice. The caption read, "Blessed to have you by my side almost 20 years later, Gator. I love you at Taylor Swift forever and always."
Wow. So connecting your wedding, this huge life event, directly to a friend's work, an album, it cements a specific story, doesn't it? A story of uncomplicated, industry-based sisterhood. Long-lasting, supportive, easy.
Right. And when you publicly celebrate that kind of bond so forcefully.
It automatically highlights the bonds that aren't being celebrated.
Exactly. The contrast is unavoidable. The friendship with Taylor is built on shared careers, industry understanding. It's relatable in that world.
But the bond with Francia, that's built on, well, a shared organ. Life and death stakes. Shared trauma, as Francia herself called it.
They're just fundamentally different. You can't compare them, but the public narrative forces you to. And it makes Francia's absence miles away just stark, unmissable.
That's the insight, I think. Crafting this perfect wedding narrative with Taylor as the centerpiece friend, it just amplified the awkwardness of Francia not being there.
But this didn't just happen overnight. This public fracture, the reason her absence was so noticeable, it has deep roots.
Oh, yeah. The history of this particular sisterhood is way more intense than just a headline.
It really does go beyond just, typical celebrity friends. Their story is tangled up with medical necessity, a life or death pact, basically.
They met way back in 2007, right? At some charity event?
Yeah, for a children's hospital, Disney and ABC family reps were there. They apparently just hit it off instantly.
And it got deep quick. Francie was calling Selena, "Sis, my forever friend," publicly years before the kidney transplant.
Then 2017 happens, Selena's lupus flares up, she needs a kidney. Desperately.
And Francia volunteers, just steps up, and
Yeah.
she's a match.
We all remember that hospital bed photo, right? Iconic. And Selena's caption, She gave me the ultimate gift and sacrifice. I love you so much, sis.
Such a powerful moment. But that's where the real complexity starts, isn't it?
Absolutely. Saving someone's life. It comes with this enormous psychological weight. It's not just the physical recovery.
Francia talked about that later, didn't she? That both of them fell into depression after the surgery.
Yeah, she called it a shared trauma. It cemented their bond in one way, sure, but it also created this almost impossible dynamic.
You mentioned trauma bond earlier. How does that work when a friendship is literally built around one person saving the other's life? It must change everything.
It puts unbelievable pressure on the relationship. Suddenly there's this perceived debt, right?
Yeah.
An unspoken obligation.
Like the person who received the gift owes something, or the donor has some kind of say in how the recipient lives their life.
Exactly. It's often unconscious, but the expectation is there. The donor might feel, or the public might expect them to feel, tethered to the life they saved. They might feel entitled to comment on the recipient's choices, their health, their lifestyle.
That sounds unsustainable.
Totally unsustainable.
Yeah.
It creates this imbalance, this pressure of unequal sacrifice. That's not a healthy foundation for any relationship, let alone one under the celebrity microscope.
And that underlying tension, that pressure cooker, it finally just exploded publicly in November 2022.
The Rolling Stone interview.
Yep. Selena gave an interview promoting her documentary, I think, and said, "My only friend in the industry really is Taylor."
Oof. Just that one sentence. It landed like a bomb.
Instantly. The digital fallout was immediate. Francia posted that comment on Instagram. Just one word.
Interesting. Now deleted, but wow. The ultimate passive-aggressive mic drop online.
And then Selena jumped in, maybe feeling the heat, responding to some TikTok about the drama, saying, "Sorry I didn't mention every person I know."
Which didn't really help things.
Not at all. And then Francia unfollowed her on Instagram, which, in 2022, that's the digital declaration of war, basically.
It's the modern equivalent of cutting ties publicly. But what's really telling is what Francia admitted later.
Oh, yeah.
In 2023, even when they were making these public attempts at reconciliation, like Selena's birthday post for her, or Francia attending Selena's Rare Impact Fund event.
Right, trying to smooth things over publicly.
Francia admitted to reporters they hadn't spoken much in 6 years. 6 years.
Whoa. Okay, so the estrangement ran way deeper than just that 2022 comment.
Much deeper. It suggests the weight of the transplant, the expectations, the trauma bond. It had probably been eroding the friendship for a long, long time. The Rolling Stone comment was just the final straw that broke publicly.
That makes the wedding absence and Francia's eventual response even more significant. Okay, if you're finding these Hollywood twists and the whole psychology behind celebrity friendships fascinating, you should definitely hit subscribe. We uncover stories like this all the time.
So that brings us to Francia's move. Her definitive response after the wedding. She didn't do some splashy, bitter tell-all.
No, it was much more calculated, strategic even.
She gave an interview to Univision's Primer Impacto. Importantly, she delivered it in Spanish.
And this wasn't about firing shots back. It felt like a declaration of independence. Masterful, really.
She started off, graciously enough, addressing the wedding head-on. I know she's getting married, and I'm very happy for her.
Okay, standard politeness, covering the bases.
Right. But then came the subtle shift, the part designed to create distance and, crucially, reset public expectations.
What did she say?
She followed up with, and look, she has a life, and she is already a billionaire, and I'm grateful that I could do that for her.
Ah, highlighting the billionaire status. That's interesting.
It subtly positions them in different worlds, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah.
she's doing fine. She's operating on this whole other level. I'm not involved in monitoring that.
Right. It implies separation. And then she tackled the really toxic part of the public narrative head on.
The rumors, the idea that she was supposedly angry because Selena wasn't living some perfect, healthy lifestyle post-surgery.
Which must have been incredibly frustrating and invasive for her.
Totally. And this is where she just brilliantly reclaims her agency. She addressed the core misunderstanding. What does it mean to donate something versus being forever tied to it?
How did she put it?
She explained that the doctors, from the very beginning, framed it correctly. It's a donation. And then she used this killer analogy, just perfectly articulated. She said, basically, if you're going to donate $1 to St. Jude or somewhere else, you're not going to call them up later and say, hey, what are you doing with my dollar?
Wow. Yeah.
That's powerful. It's a donation, and it's something nice that I was able to do. Boom. Analogy dropped.
That completely reframes it, doesn't it? It shuts down all that public scrutiny about whether Selena is honoring the gift properly.
Exactly. It's pure narrative control. It absolves Francia of any perceived duty to monitor Selena's life. It defines the kidney donation as what it was, a selfless, unconditional act. Completed. Done.
It frees her from that expectation, that trauma bond leash the public put on her.
It feels like a really necessary act of self-preservation for her. Like she's saying, the transaction is finished. I did this incredible medical thing. I saved a life. And now I am my own person, separate from that narrative.
And she even dismissed the whole feud idea as nonsense, right?
Right. Yep. Said no one knows what's going on, and neither she nor I are talking about it. Taking back control of the story.
And the final touch, shifting the focus entirely back onto herself.
Right. Not as Selena Gomez's kidney donor, but as Francia Raisa. She ended by saying, I am grateful that I am alive, and I can say that I have saved a life.
Owning her own strength, her own action, on her own terms. That's huge for her moving forward, you have to think.
Absolutely. It's her reclaiming her own narrative, finally.
So this whole saga, Francia and Selena, it's just not simple, is it? There's no easy good guy, bad guy here.
Not at all. It feels more like a parable, really,
Yeah.
about the incredible psychological weight that comes with extreme sacrifice.
And just how hard it is to keep human connections real and healthy under that insane pressure cooker of global fame.
I think the biggest takeaway, the really profound thing here, is watching the evolution of this bond. A bond that everyone assumed had to be unbreakable because of how it was formed.
Right, forged in this life or death moment.
But they're living the unwritten chapter now. How do you navigate a friendship after the trauma, after the sacrifice? It's clearly incredibly difficult, maybe impossible in its original form.
And Francia's response, that interview, it feels like her way of finally writing an ending to that chapter for herself. A separate, happier ending.
What really sticks with you after hearing all this? Is it the complexity of the relationship itself, the way the public narrative got controlled? Or just how hard it must be to redefine yourself after such a huge sacrifice?
Lots to think about. The weight of expectation on both of them must have been immense.
Definitely. Well, stay tuned and make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what we uncover next.
You've been listening to The Deep Dive, where we uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture.
Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.